Yeah, so a couple of things that statistically on intelligent.com and many Forbes, many other sites are talking about. I think Forbes was saying that Gen Z, when they get hired, 60% of them will be fired within a year. And also 50%, they asked 1,000 companies about hiring Gen Z, and 50% of the companies said that they don't even want to hire Gen Z. Like, can you teach professionalism? And now mind you, these statistics are talking about college graduates, not
Right.
necessarily the ones that didn't go to school and, or things of that nature. Now, I think there's a benefit to this conversation. I know I'm going. So,
You are.
so I am.
He likes talking with me.
I
obviously.
love talking with this beautiful chocolate piece of candy. But now my advantage is that I have a blue collar job. Now you work in the white collar world.
I do both.
Yeah, you do. Well, no, entrepreneurship is not a blue collar, man. Not your entrepreneurship.
No.
Not what you do. And so, we can get perspective from both sides. And now, what were we talking about?
What we're talking
Professionalism.
about? Professionalism.
So, do you think that that professionalism
Can be
taught? And do you think that professionalism goes across the board from blue collar to white collar, from white collar to blue collar?
So to answer the first question, I think that professionalism can be taught, but I think it starts before you get in college. I think it starts before, I feel like it starts when you're in kindergarten. Literally, I think it's a part of
getting kindergarten. Okay.
I'm serious. Well, and I'm very much like like let's get it done.
Wow.
So I think
so that sounds like you're implying that parents should have a role.
I definitely feel like parents should have a role in how your child how they present themselves to the world. And I mean, we can attest to that as far as, like, for example, I don't know if my husband remembered this, but our son greeted someone in leadership. And our son, instead of shaking his hand, he did this. Uh-huh. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah.
And that was a small thing. However,
and he was like, "What's up?"
He was like, "What's up?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, I knew that was wrong.
Yeah.
However, my husband greets my son like that. So it's like, "What up?" All that stuff. And I'm just like, we have to teach him the difference. And so I do believe that parents do have some authority in how their children grow up to be professional. And I also believe that, when the students are in school, that's something I feel that needs to be taught. Right. We took away in cursive writing.
What cursive writing got to do with
and cursive writing is like that. I guess cursive writing is like, I'm professional. I can sign my name.
Nah, cursive writing ain't got nothing to do with no professional.
And I feel like, now y'all can agree or disagree, but I feel like in cursive writing shows I have a signature, because who wants to do their name in just regular lettering? A cursive makes you feel professional. You're still writing checks. Who still ain't writing checks? But anyway, professionalism is taught from the beginning. Mm-hmm. And then I was having a conversation with a mom of a Gen Z, and she was just telling me how she feels like her children are not even ready for the world. They don't know how to pay a bill. Wow. They don't know how to wash their clothes. But that's But if that's the case, then they don't know how to do. And this is opinion, not technically say this is set in stone. These are just how parents feel. And we as parents can't take full responsibility. We can't take on all of the responsibility. The person has to want to learn. They have to want to learn.
Yeah, but no.
If you're trying to get a job, you're trying to get a job and you want to live on your own, you have to learn to be professional. You have to learn. You can't depend on your parents all the time.
I totally understand. I understand that. But I think certain things that are, us as parents, we don't give them the choice to even say, I'm going to be lazy to this. And
No.
And I'm not saying, and again, I'm not saying that all of these statistics and all of the challenges that's going on, that's out there is all the parents' fault. No, I think, once you get beyond to a certain age,
you can't blame your parents.
There are certain etiquettes and things that you want to carry. Now, one thing I do believe a parent is supposed to teach. Yes, we are supposed to be the first teachers of professionalism. I think that also parents are supposed to be able to teach our kids how to kind of go in and out. Like code switching, because not saying being fake, but knowing when how to greet certain individuals. So back to our son.
Do you not feel like code switching is more for people of color? That's a question, I guess.
That's a whole different
I feel like code switching is for people of color, because I feel like people of color have to be more professional. I guess that's another conversation for another day. But
that's a whole different conversation.
Going back to the question that you asked before you go to the next thing is it different from blue to white?
Okay. Professionalism. We had coffee today, so we might be all over the place.
I didn't like the coffee. I had Coca-Cola.
Yeah. But anyway.
But do you think I think that professionalism on both ends is the same. I feel like entrepreneurs definitely have to be more professional, because you're bringing in people. People have to see you. People have to know that you are a good person to they want to give their money to. Like, I want to support this person because of XYZ. That's why Google reviews are so important for professionals, any corporation, any organization, but especially for people that are business owners, it's very important to be professional, because that's how you can gain clients or lose clients. And sometimes clients like drama, so they don't go to the person that has all the drama, just so they can say, oh girl, I went to this person. They ain't gonna say oh boy, but to go to these companies or businesses just for the drama.
Wow.
So I think it just depends, because again, we're in digital world.
Right, we're in a digital world. Okay. But talking about professionalism, so like exactly, give me an example, because I think the term professionalism can be a very vague word or a very vague topic. Like, what is professionalism in a workplace?
I feel like professionalism can be customized for the position and the role.
Okay.
It's not, because it's so vague. I think that definitely professionalism is a tongue twister. I feel like as far as an entrepreneur,
let's talk corporate right now.
Corporate professionalism. I think we had this conversation a while ago.
Exactly why we're talking about this.
I'm just big on reading all the details of what your job description is and what the people expect of you, and asking questions.
But what I am saying right now, some of those job descriptions will say maintain a professional work environment. What is professional?
I think that comes from, now if it says maintain a professional work environment, it comes from an example of what your boss or whoever is doing. But also, if you don't understand what professionalism in the job that you apply for, then that comes to the point of asking questions. But I think sometimes it's kind of like, oh, I got this job, I don't know if I need to ask questions. But you do need to ask questions, because at the end of the day, when you do go in when you're applying for a job, they're interviewing you, but you are also supposed to be interviewing the company that you're applying for, because it may not be a fit. You may not want to dress casual every day. You might want to wear holy jeans.
Right.
But that's not something that's there. Right. So those are questions. I think in interviews, sometimes now we get nervous about interviews, having interviews with people, because we don't know what to expect. But that's also, I think, interviewers appreciate someone coming in asking those questions, making the interviewer feel uncomfortable about the questions too. It just makes it feel like, oh, they really want to know more about the company.
Right. Yeah, no, I think that's good. Okay. So when I think of professional, I think of what they call professional etiquette, right?
What is professional etiquette now?
So when I think of, depending upon, I think that isn't what they call it lateral. It's not a bilateral thing for us at every job or every profession, because what may be professional in a kitchen may not be professional in a corporate office. So
right, because y'all can listen to certain music.
Right, we can listen to certain music. Some kitchens that you have headphones, or in some kitchens.
I can say this. So when you're in a place of business where you're working, there's certain etiquettes. For example, me and my husband are Christians. Yes, we present ourselves as Christians. However, we can't professionally and legally, I think, you can't push your religion on someone else.
At a corporate environment.
Yeah, that's like something that is, oh, I love the Lord, but they may love someone else. They may love something else. So you can't, that's a part of professionalism. That's a part of the organization or corporate etiquette.
Okay, let's stick with that. So as a Christian, you feel I'm going to minister to my co-workers. What is the etiquette for that? Like what is acceptable? What is not acceptable? What is the best route to take with that?
To minister to your coworker?
Yeah.
I think so, because I have a business. I think it depends on.
We're talking corporate.
Oh, we're talking corporate. My bad. Mm-hmm. It's a thin line. It's extremely blurred lines on how to minister to your coworkers. I think it's more of how you are presenting yourself more than speaking about it. Now, if somebody's having a horrible day, or it's just something like, I typically would say, hey, can I pray for you? Mm-hmm. They can say yes. Most of the time they say, sure. And sometimes they'll be like, nah, I'm good.
Will you pray for them right there in the open? Will y'all step?
So it's usually when I ask someone, can I pray for them? It's just a one-on-one conversation. Mm-hmm. It's not a group conversation.
Got you.
So I would say, do you mind praying for you? Either way it goes, it's not going to hurt my feelings. It's just more because that's what I believe, but not technically pushing my beliefs on them.
Got you. Okay.
Because we've had that experience before. You remember we had that experience with a guy. We asked if we can pray for him. And when we were looking for the food truck, a long time ago.
Okay.
and you asked, he was going through all these things, and you asked, can you pray for him? And he said he doesn't believe.
Oh, yeah. I got you.
And we were like, cool.
Got you. Okay. All right. That's one example. Another example. I know we moving. We moving. Dating. What does dating look like in
the workplace?
In the workplace, because some Gen Z may not even understand or know that the etiquette with that.
On dating?
Dating. Do you not know this?
On dating in the workplace, it's not supposed to happen.
Okay, right.
And I mean that's it's not supposed to happen, but it happens.
Right.
And I think that's another thing with I think I'm not gonna even say just Gen Z. I know that Gen Z gets a lot of hate because of the digital world, and because people feel like Gen Zs are not capable of being professional or capable of getting work done because they're focused on themselves. They're just me. I think it goes overall. I believe that the reason why Gen Z is so in the media is because they're in the media. Whereas I do believe even in our generation, things were happening. It was just not recorded.
Right.
And so I think it has happened for years where there's been dating in the workplace or inappropriate behavior in the workplace. It's just that now it's seen.
Right.
So
how do you do it? How don't you do it?
I don't think you should. I think that if you choose to date someone, if you feel like, because there's stories of people meeting at work and getting married.
Right.
And then that might be something that it's a culture at the company that's okay.
Right.
That's okay, but sometimes it's not, because then if there's a divorce, separation, or argument, or fight, then that's a problem.
Right. Which is a good reason why not to date. So I'm going to give a cutthroat example, and I know we got to go.
We do.
A cutthroat example, and this is one of many conversations that we're going to have, because my wife was like, "You gonna make me work?" It's not work. It
is literally making me think on my day off.
Okay, so cutthroat example. I remember working at this particular job, and remember I'm a chef, and I was working with a corporate job, and it was a manager who was dating a young lady that happened to be a server that may even be watching this show. And long story short, they were dating kind of on the low outside of work. They never kissed or fondled or anything like that on the job. And then
they're married.
Yes.
They're children.
And then I specifically remember him having this. He was like, "Man, I'm going to have to go to my boss, let him know that I'm dating this young lady. I hope I don't get fired, but I'm going to go." And so the great thing that he did, he was open. He opened it up to have a conversation. So what one of the options could have been, he could have been moved to a different store, or she could have been moved to a different store.
But didn't that happen?
I don't remember. I think it was supposed to happen. But I think he may have went and got another job, not because they were dating, but I think something else happened.
Yeah.
Or he got another opportunity. But he was, he was open about it to his boss, instead of prancing around the job, kissing in the closets and in front of people, all this stuff or whatever. He handled it well. So that's an example of handling that professional if you do end up dating or liking someone at your workplace.
Well, I think that something with, let's talk about that really quick. This has nothing to do with, I guess, the etiquette of dating. But I think that person, that manager, had the confidence and the backbone to say something to their boss. I think now in the workplace, we get so intimidated by leadership, by how the leader may respond because of previous conversations. If so, say he may have left the job, right? He left the job. If he never said anything about the dating, right, there would never be an example of a successful story.
Right.
It will only be I'm not going to say anything, and it's just going to be what it is.
Right.
And now the next person that gets in there may fall in love with another person, and it's like, what did he do? He just left.
Right.
And there was no conversation. So now that's an intimidating situation.
Yeah.
That was a tongue twister too. Situation that was never spoken of, and now that leader don't know anything because it was never a conversation
or an example
of what can happen, what's the results.
Right.
So I think that's another thing with leadership today is they're not approachable.
I agree with that.
And leadership today respond on personal taking it personal and not looking at the overall picture of this is your role.
Right.
This is what you are responsible for.
And now I have seen within some of the research that I've done that Gen Z was saying that yes, they do have problems with communication, but it was because the leadership was intimidating.
Because
I've read that.
Yeah, leaderships are intimidating. It's because of their role and not looking at the whole picture of like this is what we are here for a mission of the business.
Right.
Not for it's not nothing personal. It's nothing like that. I need answers. I'm not attacking you. Or you're not attacking me. We are adults. And I think sometimes what happens is we go to this, you know how you get reprimanded from your parents?
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, I'm scared to say something to my mom and daddy.
Right.
It's the same thing as leadership. We're looking at like, oh, I don't want to get reprimanded now because they're taking what I'm saying to them personal.
Yeah.
And now I'm getting attacked in certain ways. Oh, my hours have been cut. Or now I'm only working on weekends.
But can I be honest? That stuff happens. Though.
No, that's why people don't say nothing.
And I think, and I definitely know that that's an insecurity by that particular leader. I think one of the challenges that
it's insecurity for both.
I think it's more insecurity of that leader because it's in a situation like that, the leader should control how that.
The narrative?
The narrative. So I also think that, let's just say in this situation, let's just say right now, for its age, most managers in age are probably either going to be millennials right now. Probably millennials, right? Well,
they're close.
It's some baby boomers too.
Right.
That are about to
retire.
So, and so I think because one of the things I also put out there was that this is going to be we're going to have to end this somehow.
We going to have to end this.
But baby boomers, because Gen Z is so different from baby boomers, because you got to also think, now we're in the South, a lot of baby boomers grew up, at least, a lot of baby boomers in the South. I don't want to speak for all of them. Baby boomers grew up on the farm. Baby
did.
Baby boomers did everything by hand, the sweat of their brow, and they worked hard. Now Gen Z, totally opposite.
But you know what's funny to me? Well, not funny, but this is something that you just said about baby boomers worked hard. They worked with their hands. They plowed and stuff. Right. It changed every generation, and I think it's because it made it easier for the next generation. Right. And now it's like you could do all things remote.
Right.
And get paid big bucks.
Right. And I think that's where some of the challenges are coming from. Because they're calling Gen Z lazy, but
it's COVID too.
But Gen Z getting money sitting on a couch at home.
Gen Z getting money.
And so to tell a baby boomer that be like, boy, you gonna go to work today? Shoot, mama, hey, shoot,
They can't see your
I just made, oh yeah, mom, shoot, I just made a couple $100 on my phone selling something on Marketplace or doing a deal on YouTube, whatever. I just made a couple of $100. I just made $15,000 doing X, Y, and Z digitally from my couch.
But there's also,
or I just made money on a video game,
which I hate.
Yeah, on a video game, I just made X amount of dollars, legal money.
But I think that's an adjustment for parents that have Gen Zs or whatever, that's a possibility that a child will be at home, which...
You're enjoying this conversation.
I am enjoying the conversation because we are literally walking
we're gonna come back. Yeah, we're going to come back to this though.
Child that's... Oh God,
he's awesome, baby.
He's amazing. But yeah, I'm thinking about how Gen Z is doing what they're doing.
And he's Gen Z.
He's Gen Z. Yeah, Lord Jesus.
Wait.
No, he's not.
He's actually at the edge. I think Gen Z starts at 13. He's 12. So it's what is.
He's the next one.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus! I hope that it literally trickles back to a little bit of the baby boomer wanting to do some work. Sweat of the brow.
It ain't going backwards. Now that's you showing your age.
It's showing my age, but I do feel like you should work.
Yes. Now I mean, and again.
But I guess it's hustle.
Work.
Gen Zs are hustling a different way than we hustle.
Work is different from. I think that's one of the challenges. I think because work is different. People view work and people judge other people based off of work, or what work looks like to them. Yeah. So. Yeah. But we're gonna end the conversation there. There was a chat. We're gonna come back with many more.
That was not a chat. That was a 30, 40-minute conversation.
But we chatted and hit a lot of different things that we're gonna have to go back and go into detail about later. But thank y'all so much for watching Practical Independence podcast show and a little chit chat from the chocolate. Anyway, got me biting my lips. So y'all have a great day. Thank you so much.